Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with an on-the-fly review for you, and today I'm talking about Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw. Released earlier this month, directed by Deadpool's David Leitch, or was it Deadpool 2's David Leitch, I'm sorry. He also did the first John Wick. This film stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Jason Statham, Idris Elba, Vanessa Kirby, Helen Mirren, Cliff Curtis, and Roman Reigns. I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. Fuck it, I loved this movie. You know, is there such a thing as a feel-good action movie? Because that's what the hell this was. The whole setup here is, of course, it's a spin-off of the Fast and Furious film franchise, which is interesting enough because both Hobbs and Shaw's characters were introduced into the series originally as antagonists, and then they became, like part of the crew, the family, and now they got their own spin-off. It's just crazy how franchises work when you're, profitable. The whole real setup here is that, these two guys both, they aren't friends. They come together due to a joint thing, mainly because Jason Statham's sister has basically, she's an MI6 agent. She was attacked by a Superman, Captain America machine-like motherfucker, Idris Elba, who tried to steal this rare virus, this Captain Trips-like shit. So she injected herself with it in order to keep him from it, and now she's on the run. She has 48 hours or some typical movie bullshit like that until she dies, and it will kill all of humanity. So of course Hobbs and Shaw have to work together, which they can't, to save the world, stop Terminator Cap, and, hopefully kick plenty of ass in the process. And which, of course, they do all of that. Where this is, if you were a fan of the original film, which I was a fan of the original Fast and Furious, but I always felt like it was a much better version of Point Break. Why was it better than Point Break? Well, simple. You take out surfing and you put in cars. The film series has always really been just about cool cars and good-looking girls, with badass guys doing just increasingly ridiculous superhuman feats of strength as the films go on. I thought this film definitely delivered with a proper third act that felt like a Fast and Furious movie, but I thought it lacked in the booty factor. I don't want to sound pure piggish there, but I expect far more gratuitous booty in a Fast and Furious film. There is, I think there was supposed to be a twist ending, a surprise. Ooh, this guy's really behind the thing. But it was so obvious what they were going to do, they just decided to cut it at the last minute. But that's my theory. Idris Elba was okay in this. Idris Elba has a great voice. He has a great presence about him, and he's a good actor, but there's something about him that is just so naturally unlikable, which is why I prefer him to play villains. I don't know, maybe he just kind of looks like he's a bad guy. Maybe that's what it is. But anyhow, I thought he was good in this, but I didn't like him in Star Trek 3. He just wasn't good in that. The Rock is funny in this, Jason Statham is funny in this. What I really would most want to compare this film to, because there's so many movies that, this scene reminded me of Lethal Weapon 4, this scene reminds me of Cliffhanger, and all this kind of shit. That kind of stuff's all through the movie. But the movie overall had a very Tango and Cash feel to it. And if you've never seen Tango and Cash, it is an absurd delight. It's Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell are two cops framed for a crime they didn't commit, end up working together, and just pull off the kind of insane amount of violence that you can only find in a 1980s movie or comic book. It was awesome. And this movie's like that, but on a PG-13 level, so I'd still definitely recommend seeing Tango and Cash. But yeah, I had a lot of fun in this movie. I thought Vanessa Kirby was actually the best performance, and I liked her a lot in this. I also really liked her in Mission Impossible Fallout. I thought she was very good in that. So yeah, I definitely recommend Hobbs and Shaw, and in fact, I'm going to give it 5 stars, because it is not a great movie. It is not a good movie. it's still, nevertheless, more than it seats at what it is trying and wanting to do. So for that much, I really got to commend the movie. I had a blast. I was not expecting, I mean, I was almost even kind of put off by wanting to see it, just because I think these movies are, when's enough? Paul Walker in a lot of ways what had me coming back for the movies. I thought it was very good and a very good character, and the chemistry him and Vin Diesel had was very natural. And once he passed away, I was just kind of, why should I give a shit anymore? The star of the series, the guy, the centerpiece of your world here is gone. And now I know that Fast and Furious 9 is coming out, which I thought this was Fast and Furious 9. Shouldn't that be Fast and Furious 10? Don't worry about it. I know John Cena's in it. I guess Rock's not coming back, but Jordana Brewster's coming back now. So I'm like, fuck, are we going to come into the thing where Connor is dead in this? Brian. I can't remember his last name now. But anyway, I like this movie. I had a lot of fun. I usually enjoy the Fast and Furious movies. I really do. But I would have to say my absolute favorite ones are probably this one. The one in London with the other Shaw brother. The one John Singleton did in Miami. Come on, man, Miami. That's, close to home here. I like the first one. I like the one with Sonny Chiba. What is that, the Tokyo Drift one? Anyhow, I usually tend to really like these movies. Anyhow, I hope y'all like this review. Hobbs and Shaw, it's a blast. Check it out if or when you get a chance. I'm Jake Davis, and I'll catch you on the fly.